Yeah, what's up? Just a blind guy doing stuff, and we're sitting here on Friday, snowing out today. Just kind of thinking here, looking over the headlines, listening to the radio this morning, and I just got a comment on some of the new president's cabinet positions, and specifically, we're going to talk today about Ben Carson and his appointment to HUD, and we're going to revisit some of the other appointments, but we're just going to do them one at a time. And so, Ben Carson, brain surgeon. Everybody says he's brilliant. And I heard yesterday he did do some administration at a hospital he did work at, so that's a good thing. He has some administrative experience. Um, but the one big problem with Ben Carson is he said throughout the campaign that he didn't like HUD, and he was not into HUD's mission, and he didn't approve of what HUD was doing. So this kind of goes to this idea that the Republican Party puts people in power that don't know what they're doing, and there's a kind of a going theory or growing think that they do it on purpose to basically break government. We have some early examples of Reagan appointing an education secretary who stated in the campaign he hated education, and then he went in and proceeded to begin to break public education. And that is still going on today, and we see what has happened. They break public education, and then they say, oh, look, public education doesn't work, so what we need is a private alternative, aka charter schools. So I predict this is what's going to happen with the HUD and Ben Carson. He's going to get in there. Well, we don't like this. We don't like that. Oh, how about we sort of defund this, defund that, and then 10 years later from now, they're going, look here, the government is just not housing these people very well anymore. What we need are some private apartment complexes. We need some privately owned buildings and homes, not publicly owned, so that we can better serve these people. And then they'll come in, privatize it, and then we're off to the races where eventually their goal is we want everything privatized, even the military. As far as I know, the military, they don't cook their own meals anymore. They do a lot of their own, do all their own food cooking, and then you hear about the military contractors. So it's even in the military. They are trying to privatize everything. And Ben Carson, he's just another person in the line. But, I think Donald Trump probably appointed him because he said he was, he would help out Ben Carson. Ben Carson was one of the first people who came out with an endorsement. And you hear this a lot on the Republican talk radio. Ben Carson, in their eyes, oh well, he grew up poor. He grew up in Detroit, and he never lived in public housing. Public housing, but he's black, so he grows up. He grew up with those poor people. He knows how to get in there and talk to them. Um, but from everything I see and everything I read and look around, friends of mine who are African American, they're not that big fan. They're not that big of fans of Ben Carson, and they really don't like these token appointments where okay, we're gonna put a black guy in charge of taking care of all those poor people down there in the government housing. So it's very transparent what's going on, and he will be the next HUD secretary. And I wish him all the luck. I don't want Ben Carson to fail, but unfortunately I feel that Ben Carson will be very successful in doing what he has been sent there to do, which is to break HUD, to fundamentally change what they're supposed to do. And that's what Trump ran on, is he's going to drain the swamp. But my brother and I were talking about this yesterday. I think Trump's going to drain the swamp and then lay the foundation for a new swamp, a new private swamp. And I talked about this before with people. The Democrats do it too. So you should. I live here in Washington State. You should come out here and check out Washington State. I mean, they have everything privatized. I ride public transportation. A lot of it is privatized. They just privatized the meals on the ferry system. Um, they have a lot of rehabs around here privatized. That was one of the first socialist things that America had way back in the day, were rehabs and sanitariums for people to go and take care of their mental illness, or if they were hooked on opium or drugs or something, they could go to these sanitariums or these mental houses. Now, probably not the best conditions necessarily. I never really looked into conditions, but you could go to these things for free and get yourself situated. Not anymore. So um, everything's privatized, and it's that's where we're headed. That's the way they want it. And unfortunately, the people have sort of been um, tricked or made to believe that that is the best way to go. Oh, well, private can just do anything better than government. Well, not necessarily. I mean, let's look at the Social Security Administration. They haven't missed a check in, what is that, whatever, how long it's been, 60, it's about 70, 70 something years. So, government can do things well. Look at the military. Obviously, the military works well. Um, so there are things the government can do. Look at the road systems. We have a great road system. So there are plenty of things the government can do if it is taken and if it is done correctly and if it is done under good faith. Not we're going to break it and then privatize it. And I'm not really sure why the Democrats privatize out here. I think it's just to try to be cheaper, and they sort of bought into this corporate government um, hybrids they have. It's this private-public partnerships they call it, and that's a big thing going on. So the Democrats do it too. This is not just a Republican thing. Please don't think that I'm saying, oh well, it's all just Republican. I mean, Washington out here is just it's bad. So we need to change that. We need to get back to, and here's why. If you have a private corporation like Walmart, or let's say these shuttle that drives me around, public transportation. If I have a complaint and it doesn't get fixed, or I complain it doesn't get work, doesn't get taken care of, well, people will be like, oh, well, you can just go to another. Well, no, there's only one shuttle organization, and there's only one cable company, and there's only one this, and there's only one that. And so, if things are privatized, when you complain and they don't get done, you're just out of luck. What are you going to do? You can't. The CEO is not going to listen to you. The board of directors is not going to listen to you. The stockholders don't care. The corporation is there. It says right there in corporate charter is to make money. So you have that. If you have public institutions who are run by public agencies and run by government agencies efficiently and they work well, then let's say my shuttle doesn't work right, it's not coming to pick me up on time, I can complain about it, and then I can complain some more, and if it doesn't work, then guess what? I can start getting people unelected. I can't get the CEO of the shuttle company fired, but I can work to get the mayor fired. We can fire the mayor. We can fire the head of public transportation in Tacoma. So there's a big difference between public and private. We prefer public. We want to have public just for the simple fact public is answerable to the people. So that's my little rant there on Ben Carson, and I hope everybody's having a great Friday. My name is the Blind Guy Doing Stuff. If you like this video, or you want to share it with your friends, kind of has some insights, please share it and hit subscribe. Try to get this channel going a little bit. So thank you. You can also check me out on Radio Tacoma on the record podcast. So lots of places you can find the Blind Guy Doing Stuff, and we'll be doing all kind of other videos. We're gonna be doing Blind Guy playing baseball, Blind Guy doing hacky sack. So check us out, Blind Guy Doing Stuff. Have a good Friday.
Start streaming button. Stop recording button.